U.S. extends waivers for countries to continue civil nuclear work with Iran. The State Department announced late Wednesday it would extend waivers for countries in the 2015 Iran nuclear deal to continue their participation in civil nuclear projects with Tehran. The National Security Advisor John Bolton said in an interview on Fox Business Wednesday that the waiver renewal would be for 90 days. Two administration officials said Tuesday that the waivers were expected to be renewed, and one of the officials said that Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin argued the waivers should be extended during a recent White House meeting on the issue. Under the waivers, the country's party to the 2015 deal will continue to conduct research and do non-proliferation work without facing U.S. sanctions. Earlier this month, Sigel Mandlker, Undersecretary of the Treasury for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence, made the case that the Trump administration's current maximum without. At the beginning of May, the State Department extended the waivers for 90 days instead of 180. It also revoked. The move will likely come as welcome news to European allies, who have sought to preserve the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action JCPOA amid escalating tensions and as Iran has reduced its compliance to the landmark nuclear deal. The U.S. has said it would negotiate with Iran without. On Monday, President Donald Trump that people should just. The historically inaccurate observation appeared to be pulled from a 2017 opinion article about the Iran nuclear deal written by National Security Advisor John Bolton and drew swift pushback. Zarif responded on Tuesday with his own, including a screenshot from the Bolton article, highlighting the phrase, Iran. Above it, Zarif wrote that for diplomacy, the U.S. issued the waiver decision as the White House continues efforts to build a maritime security force to patrol the Persian Gulf. On Monday, Pompeo said the effort to build a maritime force to protect international shipping in the Gulf was taking more time than the U.S. would like, in part, a reflection of early British and ongoing German resistance to the plan, in favor of a European security effort. The U.S., UK and other allies will meet in Bahrain on Wednesday to continue talks about how best to protect Gulf shipping, a British Ministry of Defence spokesman said after a meeting at the U.S. Central Command military headquarters in Tampa, Florida, last Thursday. While the UK had expressed interest in working with the French on a European-led maritime security effort, the new Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab has said the UK is interested in working with the US on its security initiative. Raab said, Iranian officials are making much the same arguments about freedom of navigation in the Gulf, pointing out that it is central to their economy as well.
Raindrop, truck top smoking, no cooking, the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.